We're here with Adam Smith from Sky Sports, here at the Broadmarsh Shopping Centre in Nottingham. Just had the Carl Froch open workout. First of all, what have you made of this crowd turning up? You've been to a few of these and it's been spectacular today.
Absolutely phenomenal, isn't it? I mean, we were here 6 months ago and you know, it was sort of 1-2 deep around the barriers, but I mean, it was just electric today, a huge turnout. And I think this fight has just captured the imagination like no other on British soil in recent memory, and I think that's the beautiful thing about it. You know, we had everything last time, the brutal battle, the controversial stoppage, it's unfinished business, two guys that don't get on, two guys that need each other, and the best thing, of course, is that nobody knows who's going to win the fight. So it's got everything, and I think it's great that Carl's had such a fantastic turnout here in Nottingham, and I expect that George will have a very big turnout down in West London tomorrow as the road show closes in on Wembley.
Definitely. And of course, you've been on ringside when they've both been in the studio. Well, what has that been like, and the tension in the studio on those occasions?
I tell you what, the tension last time, before the first fight on Halloween, was very, very icy, and I think that George really got under Carl's skin. I think this time Carl was more prepared for it, so I think that he gave as good as he was given, and it was also there was an audience in there this time, so it's slightly different, but it was tense. And then we had a gloves are off and a Facebook meeting as well, so they had sort of 24 hours in each other's company, and I think the best way to sort of sum it up is that they wanted to go their separate ways at the end. I think that, you know, whatever happens on Saturday night, there might be some begrudging respect between the pair, but I don't think they're ever going to be sitting around having Sunday dinner together. They're just very different personalities, they're different generations, they're different people, both great guys in their own way, but they just don't get on, and I think that tension has added to the chemistry, rather like, you know, Ben and Eubank back in the day.
And I mean, if George Groves wins this fight, could we see a third fight? And I mean, how will it get any bigger than this if there is a third fight?
Well, I don't know how it gets bigger than this. Wembley 80,000 is incredible. You know, no one that's been in boxing for the last 10-20 years has seen anything like this. So I mean, it's going to be a new experience for all of us. Listen, if it's another great fight, Groves edges it or whatever, we could do it again. Of course, we'd love to do it again, but let's get them through this, because the first fight was really tough, and you know, and Carl is nearly 37 now. He might not want to go on much beyond this fight, so let's enjoy Saturday night and worry about what happens after that then. But you know, there's huge opportunities for both of them should they win.
And of course, Sky Sports have a great relationship with Eddie Hearn and the Matchroom stable. Yep. In terms of Eddie Hearn, he's been said publicly that he wants to host more of these domestic battles. Is that something that you at Sky Sports want to see as well?
Absolutely. You know, I think that this has really captured the imagination. You know, if you think about other British fights or Irish, English, like Frampton and Quigg, or Khan and Brooke, you know, and what a battle that will be in the Northwest, for example. I think that, you know, while we've got the attention of the casual fans on us, you know, the trade fans are always going to crave for the best 50-50 fights you can get, and obviously we do our very best to deliver as many as possible. But I think now the casual fans are really hooked into this. This is a time in the next sort of year, 18 months, to really get the big British dust-ups going, and I think James DeGale, if he wins on Saturday night, is right in the mix. You know, if Groves wins, Groves DeGale rematch would be really tense, wouldn't it? And if Froch wins, then Froch and DeGale as well. So yes, I agree with Eddie. I think it'd be great to see these sort of blockbusters this side of the Atlantic.
Well, definitely. And you mentioned James DeGale there, and with this weight division, it really looks back and mirrors the Eubank, Ben, Watson era. I mean, what do you make?
Well, it was great, wasn't it? You know, I was at university during the sort of Ben Eubank days, and Eubank was my absolute. I loved him. You know, I loved everything that he did in the ring. My mates were all Ben fans. You know, everyone, you liked one or the other, didn't you? And I think that was the beauty of that. And again, that sort of, you know, the fact they didn't get on, the fact that they were both great fighters at the same time and in the same weight division. I think that, you know, you look at someone like Joe Calzaghe, who in my opinion was the best British fighter we probably had since the war, or John Conti maybe. You know, he was unbelievable, you know, but unfortunately he didn't have great fighters around him. You know, he fought Hopkins and Jones towards the end, but you know, I think it's imperative, you know, to be remembered as a real battler if you've got those other great names with you. And I think that's what Ben and Eubank and Watson had, and then Collins came in, and Joe just sort of sat after that time before the next time. And I think, having spoken to him the other day, he's sad really that he didn't get the chance to sort of mix with these two. He's obviously too old now and he's retired. But I think that's what it has. You have dance partners, don't you? And you know, the trilogies of of Ali and Frazier and Barrera and Morales, of Gassi and Ward, of Bow and Holyfield, and and these two, Froch and Groves, need each other, and who knows, don't count out a third fight.
No, definitely. And finally, what is your prediction for this fight? I know it's neutral.
I could sit on the fence, being in the position I am. Obviously, I work with both of them. But you know what? I am sitting on the fence with this because I really can't pick it. One day I wake up, I think Carl. The next day I think George. I think it's a very, very close fight. That's why if you ask 100 people, mind you, if you ask everyone here today, they'll say Carl Froch. But if you ask 100 people in the street, they'll say 50 will say Carl and 50 will say George. And that's where I sit on it. I just want to see a great fight unfold and may the best guy win. But I really can't pick him. I think it's that close.
And one thing's for sure, the fans are going to be winners no matter what.
Absolutely. It's going to be a tremendous occasion at Wembley. It's a huge event. It's a fantastic card. It's a great night. The end of May, maybe it's come at a time, the end of the football season, before the World Cup. It's sitting in that perfect window. Last year we had Andy Murray winning Wimbledon. Maybe this is going to be the highlight of this spring, summer. So I just say everybody enjoy it because these fights don't come around that often. And I just think this is it's all set for an amazing night at Wembley, and I just can't wait. And neither can my team. We have been so excited about it for the last 3 months, and it's now nearly upon us.
And this fight week's come at a perfect time as well. I mean, today is obviously a bank holiday and it's half term, so expecting another big turnout this weekend for the public weigh-in.
Absolutely, I live very near George Groves actually in West London, and my kids are coming down to the workout tomorrow. I think it's a great time. People have come here, and as you say, bank holiday and half-term week. It's fantastic for the fans. Also, I think we've had a super weekend of sport with the playoffs and the golf and the Monaco Grand Prix. I think now we can all sit back and enjoy the boxing. This is what it's all about. And I sort of feel like almost like we've all been through a fight camp ourselves over the last 12 weeks, and now we're just honing in on the weigh-in and the big night. And it's very exciting.
And what content do Sky Sports have this week? We've had the gloves are off on Saturday. What other content can we have?
It's pretty much wall to wall on Sky Sports 1 this week. Or the odd live event. It's pretty much boxing all the way through. You're going to see a lot of old Froch fights, a lot of old Groves fights. You're going to see old ringside specials. You're going to see new programs. The Tactics is on tonight. Another chance to see the gloves are off from Saturday because obviously it was running late because of the Champions League final extra time. You're going to see the behind the ropes with the two of them, which is a great opportunity to see the sort of whole build-up in the camps with Carl and George. That's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're ringside from Wembley. Friday, the final countdown from Wembley, and then obviously Saturday, Sky Sports box office live from 6 o'clock. And great evening of action, entertainment, and what an atmosphere it's going to be.
Oh, that's great, Adam. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.